Good morning. Welcome to another edition of the Monday Morning Challenge. It is a new week, and we are squared away this week. It's one of the most celebrated religious weeks outside of Christmas. It's Holy Week for most people who do celebrate the death and rise of Christ. So, it's a very, very touchy-feel, emotional week. I think the last few years has been very touchy-feel in terms of our emotions, which is something that we're going to talk about today. As many of you join on, we're talking about your emotions, how your emotions make you feel and how they, control everything that we do every single day, every second of the day. We have some type of feeling. Good morning, nephew. How you doing down there in Houston? Hope you're doing good. But we need to gather ourselves and understand and educate ourselves about our emotions and evaluate our expressions sometime, because sometimes our emotions can get us in trouble. Our emotions can get us in places where we don't want to be because we don't learn how to control them. And when you think about the workplace today, when you think about our relationships today with people, a lot of times it involves us being emotionally involved in something. Sometimes we become emotionally attached to our animals, our materials that we possess. We become so enthralled and locked in that we have so many feelings tied into it, because on a day-to-day basis, it helps us to understand that our emotions are the thing that controls us. Our emotions can motivate us, they can demotivate us, they can confuse us, they can do so many different things to us, but we have to understand our emotions on a daily basis. So really in life, I want us to think about this. We must learn to become emotionally intelligent. What I mean by emotionally intelligent, we need to learn to control our emotions. And sometimes we don't learn to control our emotions, and they make us miserable. They make us sad. They make us confused. They make us harbor them inside and just suppress them. They make us do various things that we don't subconsciously sometimes think about, why we eat so much, or why we drink so much, or why we do various things a certain way, or why we treat people a certain way, because we don't have a grasp on our emotions. And emotions are high sometimes. Like today, our emotions, some of us are happy to be up. It's Monday. We got a new week of opportunities. We have a chance to do something great, or we got something that we just cannot wait to get up and do today because we're excited about it. We have some great feelings and emotions about it because we're doing something that we love. And then there's some of us who wake up and we're like, oh man, it's Monday. I got to go through this mess again. I hate my job. I can't stand my job. I wish I had one more day off. Why is it Monday already? So we're in that angry, emotional stage because we're in a place that we don't want to be. Sometimes we are in a place that we feel like we're stuck, and it angers us, it saddens us, it frustrates us. Sometimes it gives us a I don't care type of attitude. I'm just here to make dollars, and we try to take our emotions out when really our emotions are involved. No matter what we think about, our emotions are involved in what we do. It drives us. It controls us. And so, emotions, they're a state of mind, of our moods derives from various circumstances that we might have been in or have. Those circumstances could be a relationship. Those circumstances could be a disagreement. Those circumstances could be something that made us angry, or something someone said or did to us. No matter what those circumstances are, they involve you emotionally every day, because we are putting our heart and soul and our feelings into it. When we think about our emotions, we think about coming from the heart and then registering in the mind, because guess what? People say things, they sting. Like they say, the old saying, sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me. Not so very much. Words do hurt. Words can either hurt us, or they can encourage us, or they can confuse us. Situations could either hurt us or encourage us or confuse us. Think about it. On your job right now, what motivates you? What demotivates you? There are two factors. Things that you like about the job that motivate you. Is it the money? And then what demotivates you about the rules and regulations or the politics or favoritism on the job or how people make you feel less than or left out, right? So we have our emotions in this place, and we need to learn how to express them better. Sometimes we express them in a way that surprises people because we snap on them and we say something out of the side of our neck, or just as we just rip it off to them because we don't care, because we're so angry about something that's bothering us. Or you come home to your significant other and you are carrying and harboring those emotions and feelings that you were dealing with for the 8 or 9 hours or however long that you work, and you bring that stuff home. So you want to keep in mind that your emotions are there. They can sometimes trick you. They can sometimes betray you. Sometimes they can even, like I said, just leave you puzzled, about various things, because we're constantly in our mind playing things that happened to us in our past or just in a few minutes before. So this morning, I want to talk about, the 7 basic emotions and getting you to understand. And then at the end, of course, I got a challenge for you this week in terms of learning how to deal with your emotions, to control your emotions, to be thinking about your emotions all the time. Because when you think about what's happening in this world today, there are so many people out here who are getting hurt because of other people's sayings or other people's doings, and they're not thinking about others' feelings and emotions. So when you think about it, in emotions, there's anger, there's fear, there's disgust, there's contempt, there's joy, there's sadness, there's anxiety, and then there's surprise. So you think about that. We have anxiety this morning, some of us, about Monday morning, because we're just so intense, or we just can't stand being up and going to work. Some of us really just don't want to, because like I've been saying, if you've been reading my messages, there's a 3-word phrase some of us look at sometime in life when it comes to a job: too much work, right? We all want to do something that's easy. We all want to do something that we love. Think about it. If you could do, or hopefully you are doing something that you love, you feel great about it, don't you? But if you're not doing something that's not your passion, that's in your heart, that you love, that makes you so happy, that gives you that joy, you're not happy about it. You're kind of more so in the fact that, hey, listen, this is just a job. I'm trying to keep my emotions out. That's the biggest lie in the world. Your emotions are involved one way or the other. They either are love or hate for your job. There's no in between, like I said, with your attitude. And your emotions control how your attitude is. Know that I talk a lot about attitude. Your attitude is everything that you do. But others can be love, there can be trust, and there can be grief. So we have those different emotions that we deal with. But to help us evaluate our emotions, we have to learn how to be emotionally intelligent, how to control those emotions. We got to know when we're feeling these emotions and be aware that these emotions are there. Be aware that these emotions can harm us or help us to harm others if we don't learn how to control them or learn to express what we're feeling. Or think about it, as we let anger just build up, and we suppress it, and push it down, we learn the fact that, hey, eventually we snap because we cannot take it anymore. We had it up to here, as we say, because we allowed it to build up. So we got to learn how to let our emotions out. When you're feeling something, you need to let someone know. As they say, when you're feeling a certain type of way or a certain kind of way about something, or somebody made you feel a certain type of way, you need to be able to take it and express that this person did this, or this to you. When I was teaching, I had kids to journal in health class to get extra points. What I wanted them to get in journaling, those who remember this, what I had them to do to get extra points in the high school, was to write a journal, write what they were feeling. I didn't care. I told them, listen, let it all out. I'm not reading this. I'm just looking to see that you had a page completed. If you wanted me to read it, then you write me a note and let me know, and we'll sit down and talk about it. But I wanted kids in high school early to start expressing themselves emotionally on that paper, because journaling help us gets it out. Sometimes we might have to write a note or send a text to someone, hey man, that wasn't cool. Hey girl, that was not cool with what you said or did to me today. We really need to talk about it. That kind of bothered me, disturbed me, or it hurt me. See, once we start getting that stuff out, the betrayal stops, the distrust stops, the backstabbing stops, the anger stops, the hate stops, the jealousy stops. So we have to think about those things. So we have to learn how to control our emotions, and that's adulthood. We can't just fly off the handle every time something happens. We have to learn how to control our emotions. You're not going to be perfect all the time because it's going to be hard to control your emotions. When you really care about something and somebody else doesn't, it angers you. Especially if you have a job or you run a business and you have an employee, you have to teach them how to love and have the same idea and same compassion for what you have. If they don't, then they don't belong. If you don't like your job and you find out it's really affecting you mentally and your health wise, get off that job. Leave that job. You have to understand that. But your emotions, guys, are huge, and you need to learn how to control them. Stop harboring those feelings inside and let someone know how you feel, because we eventually let it build up. That's the reason we have so much anger, so much hate in the world today, because we harbor bad vibes, bad feelings, resentment towards someone inside of us to the point that it drives us crazy because we cannot control it anymore. So we have to learn to express that. Anger is good. You need to understand that sometimes you have to be angry. Sometimes you have to be negative, but sometimes you can't stay in that negative phase. You have to get it over with, blow it off, get it out, whatever it is, and come back and learn from it. See, life teaches us things. It's either going to teach us, some good lessons, and it's going to teach us some bad lessons, but all together, it's going to come together for the good of your life. So understand that. So this week, my challenge to you, I challenge you to be more conscious about your emotions. I want you to every day think about your emotions when you're getting up, how you feel, how something made you feel at this particular moment, in your life, or how it feels to not have someone or less than, or how to control your emotions and be thankful for what you have. But your emotions are involved every day. Learn to control those emotions. Learn to deal with those emotions and learn how to love with those emotions. Learn how to find your motivation from your emotions. So this week, I challenge you to learn how to evaluate those emotions. Don't harbor them. Let them out. If you got to write and journal, I challenge you to journal. Start journaling. Start writing stuff. And here's the last thing, my little bonus. I tell you all the time about getting up early to meditate, to pray, to whatever it is that you do, whatever religious choice that you choose to do. I'm going to express myself. If you don't like the fact that I say pray, I get that. You can turn it off or move on to the next place, or don't watch it. But that's me. That's what I know that makes me successful, and I know that can make you successful, is getting up and taking some time. I don't care if you're lying in bed, but wake up early enough to meditate, or do you need to get away, get alone, and focus on how you can get better. Focus on what are you feeling at this particular moment. So I challenge you this week to be emotionally intelligent, learn to control your emotions, learn to know when you're feeling something, knowing you need to express yourself, and let someone know how you're feeling about something, whether it's a significant other, whether it's your wife, whether it's your partner, whether it's one of your friends or co-workers that you're close to. Talk about those things and get away and learn how to deal with them. Listen, I know that you're a greater person than what you are. Discover your emotions. Dig deep into your emotions and learn how to control them, because, again, your emotions can lead to a lot of bad things. Drugs, alcohol, overeating, binging, and eating just yourself to death, taking medication because you have this constant headache about something that's bothering you inside. Your health is important to you in your heart, guys. Our emotions are always there, but we are born to have joy. God put us on this earth to have joy. This week is Holy Week, guys. Evaluate your emotions. Think about your emotions. Get alone, meditate, pray. Like I said again, that's me. That's what I do, and I'm sure you can do it too. Take time to evaluate your emotions, get yourself under control, and learn how to control your emotions and allow your emotions to control you. Learn to be a better you and be the greatest you. And that's why I always say be great. Be the greatest you that you can be. Because when you have your emotions under control, your attitude is great, your attitude is positive, and you have one attitude all the time. It's either positive or negative, but that championship attitude is the one you want to have, the positive one, the relentless one, the one that's caring about the people around you and that's aware of your emotions and being emotionally intelligent and making the right decision in terms of what you're feeling at that particular time, or how you need to say something at a particular time. Listen, I'll see you next week. Love you guys. Have a great Holy Week, those of us that celebrate Easter. And just remember, on the last page, as my friend Carrie Casey says, we win in the good book of life. Be great.